Stephanie White needs to go. And to them, I say, welcome. Welcome to the dark side. Welcome to the Fire Stephanie White bandwagon, the Fire Stephanie White train, the Stephanie White needs to go parade. Welcome. Welcome to town. Please get cozy, find a local bar, have a beer, kick your feet up, enjoy yourself. Stephanie White needs...
That's a Caitlin Clark fan channel. The same channel that spent 2 years defending this team. And, as of this morning, the host has flipped all the way over. The trigger, a birthday night blowout in Atlanta the night before. So, here's the question on the table. Is this fan base finally right, or is this just panic?
The don't overreact, it's still early in the season crowd gets laughed at. Because before you know it, we're more than 1/3 the way through the season, and the team still has no offensive or defensive identity. Conspiracy theorists, overreact crowd, and the bots seem to have known what they are saying. What a surprise. Remember, I was saying this in preseason. Guys, this is an issue here. We have an issue on our hands. There's no offensive identity. The team's too...
Start with the record, because the volume should match the numbers. The Fever are 9-7, a third of the way through the season, barely above .500, and Saturday in Atlanta packed the whole season into one game. Indiana won the first quarter 37-30, with Clark scorching 26 points on 11 of 18 shooting. Then it fell apart. Atlanta outscored them 28-15 in the third and won by 17. And it wasn't one hot hand to blame it on. Ryan Howard had 24, Alicia Gray 22, Music, Angel Rhea quiet 18 and 8. 4 different scorers. No answer for any of them. That's the no defensive identity the fans keep yelling about.
Oh, this will be a great time to give Kelsey Mitchell the ball and just ruin everybody's good time. Kelsey Mitchell, it's all about Kelsey Mitchell. It's not about Caitlin Clark. It's not about the fans. It's not even about winning games. It's about Kelsey Mitchell and letting Kelsey Mitchell do what Kelsey Mitchell wants to do. And that's dribble, 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 dribble. Stephanie White would rather lose with Kelsey Mitchell than win with...
The Kelsey Mitchell complaint isn't random either. The frustration is that when the offense stalls, it turns into one-on-one ball instead of running through Clark, the best passer in the sport. Music, in fairness to Mitchell, she's a real scorer. She dropped 27 the week before against Toronto. But Saturday, she went 5 of 13 and finished -18. The line about preferring to lose with Mitchell than win with Clark is hyperbole. That's a fan venting. The music point underneath it, though, that Indiana has no clear offensive pecking order, keeps showing up on the floor as Darksiders.
Darksiders. The unfortunate thing is that this organization is poverty. This organization is ran by the Three Stooges. This organization, I'd love to be wrong, they're not going to make a trade. They're not going to fire Stephanie White. They're going to let us all just sit in misery without course correcting.
Then the anger swings to the front office, and this is where names matter. Amber Cox, Music, is the general manager. She took the job in October 2024. Kelly Krakoff runs basketball and business operations as team president. And the fan argument is that ownership funds everything except the on-court product. The optics give them something to work with. The Fever committed $78 million to a new downtown practice facility on land acquired through a no-bid process. Critics wanted affordable housing on that site. The mayor called it a commitment to music, women's sports. World-class building, 500 team. That's the tension the fans are pointing at.
To taping CC's game so I could start them 30 minutes late and fast forward through anything but play. Then I told my wife to tell me when Caitlin checked back in during the replay. Then I got to the point where I could not finish games. Today, my wife and I canceled our league pass. Ooh. Yeah, it's like that. Folks, it's gotten to that point. People are finished. Look at this. They put out a post. We got 600.
This is where it gets real for the people running this franchise, because the team isn't just losing games. It's losing the audience. Listen to what that fan describes: taping, music, games, fast-forwarding to the Clark minutes, and finally canceling league pass entirely. That's not a hater. That's a paying customer walking out the door. Remember what the last 2 years were? Clark turned the Fever into appointment television and pulled the whole league's ratings to record highs. The entire bet on 2026 was a healthy Clark for a full season, because she played just 13 games last year before injuries ended her run. So when your most loyal viewers start tuning out, that's the alarm that actually matters more than any single box score.
Like this. Stephanie White should have been fired after the Portland game, and here we are giving up another 100-point embarrassment loss. Posting this like you are proud of it. Team and front office aren't serious. This may be the straw for most people. You know it, and clearly could not care less, and neither should we. Pathetic, disgusting. Damn. Stephanie White.
And this didn't start Saturday. Go back to May 30th, Indiana lost 100-84 to the Portland Fire, an expansion team in its very first season. That was the ugliest loss on the schedule. And it's the game this host says should, music, have ended White's job right there. Then came the back-to-back against Atlanta. June 18th at home, a 108-101 loss. June 20th on the road, 113-96. The Dream cracked 100 both nights and swept the pair. The fair counterweight, music, this is a small sample. Eli Boston opened the year on a minutes restriction. And with Clark missing nearly all of last season, this group has barely played together. White went 24-20 a year ago and took the eventual champions to overtime in a Game 5. The hot seat talk might be early. Might be.
Folks, it's getting bad out here. It already was bad. It already was bad. But now we've come to another junction. We've come into another fork in the road with fans, it seems. And I don't know if the Indiana Fever are actually going to do anything about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, hype the video, and subscribe to the channel. Season's already 1/3 of the way over. It's already 1/3.
Notice what the host keeps circling back to, though, not the X's and O's, the relationship. He calls it a fork in the road with the fans. And that's the part front offices underestimate. Music, you can survive a bad month in the standings. What you can't easily repair is loyal fans deciding the people in charge don't care. He's reading comments from people who arranged their whole evenings around this team a year ago and are now done with it. The standings say 9-7. The comment sections say something heavier, that the trust is cracking, and trust doesn't come back with one good win.
Team is barely above 500. The wins that we got against bums, the wins that we got against those bums, were on the backs of Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. Just lost back-to-back games against the Atlanta Dream. Made no adjustments from one game to another. We still haven't even faced the Lynx yet. We haven't even faced the Aces yet. We'll see. We'll see. If you guys are still holding out hope, salute to you. Salute to you. You're better than me. You are better than me. But man, it ain't looking good. Let me know.
So, strip away the noise. And here's the real question Indiana has to answer. Is this a roster problem, a coaching problem, or a patience problem? Because the fans have already voted, and they, music, voted for all three. Watch that Atlanta game one more time, and you see the entire season compressed, music, into 40 minutes. A first quarter where Clark is the best player on the floor, and Indiana leads by 7. A third quarter where they score 15 points, get outscored by 13, and never adjust. That's the recurring shape of it, a strong start, then a stretch where the offense has no counter, and nobody changes the math. Once that's a bad night across a month, fans stop calling it variance and start calling it the coach. And the rest of Saturday's numbers don't defend the staff. Indiana turned the ball over 19 times, and Atlanta turned that into 18 points. The Dream scored 20 fast break points. The Fever managed 2, music, 1 steal as a team all night. Here's the twist, though, the bench actually outscored Atlanta's 34-18. So this wasn't a depth collapse the way the fans, music, framed it. It was the starters going sideways, and the turnovers piling up. That's effort and execution, and that lands closer to the bench than the box score. Now, let me make the honest case for Stephanie, music, White, because those comment sections never will. She went 24-20 last year, earned a 6 seed, knocked off Atlanta in the first round, took the eventual champion Las Vegas Aces to overtime in Game 5 of the semifinals, and won the Commissioner Cup along the way, and she did most of it without Caitlin Clark. This 2026 group has barely shared the floor. 16 games is a small sample. Firing a former Coach of the Year 9 games over Pinioned, 1 season removed from a semi-final run, would be a genuine overreaction. But the fans' strongest argument was never really about 9 games. It's about 2 years. It's that you can hand a coach the most magnetic player this league has ever produced and still have no defined offense and no defensive identity to point to. It's that you lost to an expansion franchise by 16. It's that you played the same opponent twice in 3 days and looked like you'd learned nothing in between. That's the version of the complaint you can't wave off with the word early. And there's the piece the front office can't spin. Amber Cox and Kelly Crosskop have built an organization that spends, the facility, a full off-court operation, a brand the league leans on. What they haven't produced yet is a team that plays like the sum of that investment. The host's prediction is blunt: no trade, no coaching change. Everyone just sits in it. If he's right, the people most likely to leave aren't the players, they're the viewers. Because that's the exposure here, and it's unique to Indiana. No other team in this league turns a coaching slump into a national rating story, because no other team has Caitlin Clark. She's the reason casuals bought League, Music, Pass, the reason this channel exists, the reason a 9-7 start gets autopsied like a playoff collapse. That gravity is a gift and a liability at once. Every disappointing month gets amplified, and every frustrated fan who walks away is one the whole league notices. And the schedule is about to settle the argument: Phoenix twice this week, then the Sparks. After that, it gets serious. Indiana still hasn't faced the Las Vegas Aces. That's July 5th, and doesn't see the Minnesota Lynx until August. The fans are right about one thing: the soft part of the calendar is ending. Music, the next month decides whether June was a slump or a diagnosis. So pick a side, because you can't have both. Either this is a panic, a frustrated fan base torching a 24-20 playoff coach over a rough stretch with a half-built roster, music, or the fans are early but correct, and an organization that spends like a contender is being run on, music, the court like it isn't. One of those is true. Which one? Tell me in the comments, and be specific, because fire everybody isn't an argument. If you think White has earned the season, say why. If you think the Fever are wasting the best player in the world, say that. I'll read them.